What's up? I'm Ann Blackwood, and I bring consciousness to the forefront of your daily life to make life a little kinder and simpler. And I want to talk about negativity. Whether you believe in negative energy or you just understand that negativity is a thing, when we are negative towards other people, even Trump, when we are negative, that's negativity coming from us. It's not just being projected at other people. That's negativity we are allowing ourselves to have. I don't love the analogy, but it's like feeding a baby bird. It's like you're the mother bird and you're feeding a baby bird. You have to chew up that food to give it to the baby bird. You're putting that negativity in your mouth and getting it in you, even if it's meant to then go into somebody else. That's not good. Obviously, that's not good. So, this is why you'll hear in general spiritual circles or just from people who do counseling, coaching, therapy in general, that even the negativity that we experience for other people isn't a good thing. It's something that you want to deal with within yourself and stop doing, because that's negativity you're feeding yourself. That's negativity you're sitting in. It's like sitting in a pair of poopy underwear. Yeah, you picked some of it out from behind your butt and threw it to somebody else, but you're still sitting in your shitty underwear. Even though when you decided to shit yourself, it was meant to be thrown at somebody else, you're still shitting yourself. Don't be that monkey. You see what I mean? Not amazing metaphors, but they get the point across. When you're being negative about somebody else, is negativity you are literally creating inside of you, even though it's for somebody else. And you don't need that. You don't need that. It's toxic hormones that you are allowing to circulate through your body that you don't need. And so what's the remedy to this? Learning how to become at peace with all the nonsense in a way in which nothing can touch your peace, no matter what someone does, because you understand. It's not happening to you. It's just happening. And whether or not it affects you is up to you. And learning all of the techniques and things that I teach is exactly how you get to that state of inner peace. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about, the hokey pokey. Learning to do all of those things is to achieve that level of inner peace where no matter what anybody does, you can still be happy and at peace within yourself, because nobody else matters unless you want them to matter. So I want to encourage everybody to stop and look at all of the times and all of the places and watch yourself into the future as you go about your day, where you allow yourself, where you choose to be negative about things that you don't even need to concern yourself with, or could take a different approach with. There is always, if you have a negative response to something, you could have always had a positive response from a place of understanding. Even at the end of the day, if you don't totally understand, you can at least try. Even if the very last thing you do is leave going, but I still don't see their side. At least you tried. At least you tried to stop for a second and say, okay, from their perspective, what's going on? At least you tried. And in that trying alone, you reduce the negativity. And if you can, on top of that, allow yourself to take that moment to calm down rather than whatever your ego wants to hijack you to do, and instead take the time to ask yourself, from the other person's perspective, what's going on? You will then be well on your way to reducing the negativity that you put out into the world, let alone the negativity that you allow yourself to bathe in on a daily basis. Because usually, in my experience, when people are being negative about somebody else or something else, it's because they don't understand. They don't understand where it's coming from. They think their side is the obvious side and don't even bother, I'm trying to get better lighting, don't even bother to ask or question or even try to see the other side of things. And in my experience, because it is my job literally to ask questions and be able to see all perspectives, I mean, that's literally what I do for a living, is be able to learn how to understand from any perspective how something could be reasonable or logical or rational or understandable, even if it's not reasonable, logical, or rational. So that affords me the ability, because I've learned how to do this, to take the negativity out of my life. Because whether or not I agree with it, I at least don't have to be negative about it. I can be neutral about it. I don't have to be happy about it. You don't have to be happy about it. You can at least be neutral. You're like, oh, that doesn't affect me. There is what they call the 5x5 rule. If it isn't going to affect you in 5 years, don't give it 5 minutes of your time right now. And I love that rule. I love it, love it, love it. I use that rule for all sorts of things, including whether or not to spend money on something. You know, obviously food is one of those things where you wouldn't think it was obvious, but even food, you know, is this going to help me be healthy in 5 years? No? All right, I'm not going to get that. Is this something that is going to be solid enough to wear if I wear it every day? Well, maybe not every day, but you know what I mean. Will this piece of clothing last me 5 years? Or am I going to be over this trend in 5 minutes? 5 weeks, maybe. Who knows? I take this approach with everything. If it's not going to affect me in 5 years from now, I don't give it 5 minutes of my time. I don't give it 5 dimes of my time. I don't give it 5 nickels of my energy. So that's what I got for you. May the energy you serve you well, and let's keep making our way through, because that's the best we can do.